All right. Topic of this video is how to survive the pandemic as a dojo owner, operator, and sensei. So try to keep this one, short as the other videos, but so 2019, we were climbing that hill, growing, building. We had about 36 white belts that were on trial. Our tuition was around $200 at the time. We were in a smaller facility, more intimate, lower rent, lower costs. We're lowering our costs, increasing our rates. We started, seeing momentum, and we were happy with the progress, and we were in the right direction. And 2019, by the end of that, early 2020, of course, the pandemic rolled up, and by March, we shut down because it was a statewide shutdown, whatever, and we didn't know at the time what was going on. We locked down. We reverted to Zoom and whatnot. 3.5 months we were closed, and all that effort in almost 20 years, they were finally, getting to that point where we could, that hump, getting over that obstacle. We lost every single one of those white belts because they weren't on a program yet. They were just new students trying the classes out. We lost all of them. And then the current students that we had were dropping like flies because they weren't paying for what we were offering. And we said, well, we were in the same situation. We were not here to offer Zoom classes either. This is not anyone's choice. Bear with us. A couple weeks, we're going to be back open. That turned into 3.5 months, and we had to learn how to teach Zoom and virtual distance training. We were still doing private training for my son for his MMA career. But other than that, we had to pay the bills, pay the rent. We couldn't take any business. I refused to take new students on Zoom because I felt I needed to take care of my current students. And there was a lot of gimmicks that came out at the time. Like, you could make lots of money just, signing up people on virtual training. And I didn't believe in that. I felt if they can't experience the dojo, they can't experience the martial arts the right way. So I refused, and I stuck to my principles. And a lot of people tried to convince me to, teach virtual and make money off of virtual programs. And so many people did that. And I just couldn't. I felt that was breaking my own principles. I felt it was shady. But I would do Zoom for my current students who were already paying tuition, no problem. Because at least I'm offering them something while they're locked down too. Once we opened back up and everybody started opening back up, they said lockdown again. This is where I said, no, not a second time. I took the measures, we changed what we do, and here's how I got through this. So after we opened up, I said, I'm not closing again, I don't care. Because at this point, if I do close down, I will lose my livelihood, and my family, my children, and I will be homeless. So what's that gonna do? The government is not helping us stay alive. And $1,000 is not gonna do it. That's basically 2 car payments for us. 1 month of 2 car payments. So I stayed open. We stopped sparring. We made Kihon and Kata the main focus, so distance, socially distance. Limited our classes to 20 people. We stopped taking walk-ins. We only did appointments. We became an appointment-only dojo. We took out cubbies in the lobby or in the changing room or the cubby room, and we put that in the lobby, and we reduced the seating in the lobby so that only a certain amount of people could be in the lobby. We took out seating in the dojo area and made it only students as well. So we did a lot of adjustments. No touch training. The temperature taking at the time. We installed hand sanitizing stations. We changed our contracts and our agreements to, if you're ill or if you have any symptoms that you have to, stay away for 2 weeks. We made some adjustments for the training, and we made it as safe as possible. Our doors were open, whether it was hot or cold. Weather conditions didn't matter. The only time we stopped class after we opened back up was because there was fires. Couldn't control that, so air quality is worse inside or out. Then we raised our rates from 200 to 250. And when we opened back up, we went from 80 students to 29 students. It was one of the most difficult times in my dojo career. But I had to look at it and analyze it from a standpoint of how can we make this work. We learned a lot from the Zoom training, and we ended up offering virtual attendance through Facebook private group, which is a very good free feature. So if you allow your students to make their attendance by following class on Facebook, they don't have a reason not to do karate. So even if they come to in-person class, which is socially distanced at the time, no contact, they can also do Facebook and still get their attendance and their rig requirements. And the fact that we didn't take any new people during that whole time, it was the same quarantined people that we all knew, so we remained conscious of each other's conditions. And any new students that came in, we turned our enrollment process into an interview process. In other words, have you had any illnesses or anything like that? Why do you want to do this? We turned this into a why do you want to join us versus please come join. We're not offering deals. All we did was $99, you get a uniform and a month. And after the lockdown, we turned that into $99 and 2 weeks, and you get the uniform. That was the first step. So it allowed our enrollment process to be a lot quicker. So 2 weeks is a lot better than 1 month. Then we started with appointments as well. So people that wanted to come to us, if they walked in, we said, here's our card. If you have an appointment, let's sit down. If not, you need to schedule an appointment. So take our card, call us back. Another thing we did was we hired a company for a much more professional website. Our website crashed during the lockdown as a consequence, just coincidentally, and I had to rebuild from the ground up. So we've got an awesome website, and then we started pushing more advertising on Facebook and Instagram and Google. And we built our advertising up to the amount that we pay rent as well. So rent is equal as advertising. And that brought us a lot of leads and appointment capability of booking appointments without having to worry about where are we going to get our business from. And then we maintained the idea that we're only going to have limited space, and we only took who we could take. We raised our rates, minimized our class capacities, only did appointments, enrollments, no walk-ins, no free class viewings either. And people used to ask me, well, why are you doing that? I says, well, do you want anybody coming in and sitting next to you while you watch your child, for them to come without any experience whatsoever, just to judge our classes that they have no clue what's going on, and they sit down next to you and they might have COVID, flu, herpes, whatever, hepatitis. Do you want anybody just coming in and sitting down? No, absolutely not. So that was a way of us maintaining health standards in our dojo as well. We allowed people to wear masks if they chose to. We didn't enforce it because I have my own views on masks, but we allowed people to have the choice. A dojo should be a place where people feel comfortable. So after we did that, we ended up hiring a digital assistant, where now people call and they have to click 1, 2, or 3, or 0 for customer support, and it goes to the correct number. And if they're interested in an appointment, they dial 1 or whatever. And everything is through text messaging. So we no longer use phone calls anymore. We spend time on text messaging, and people set the appointment, they come in, we consult them, we get them on a program, we try them, and we accept them. And then we established a criteria for who gets to join our academy and who do we seek. Because it's not about the person, I have money, I want to go get karate lessons. No, it's not. It doesn't work that way. Just like a private school, a university, it's exclusive. We're open to the public, but we don't accept everyone. We only accept those who qualify, who are eligible. So we switched our dojo mindset from please join us to we're not going to take everybody because not everybody is qualified. You have to qualify to be part of our academy, which raises the demand, believe it or not. People want that for their children because as a parent, you want the dojo to be choosy on who's going to be with their child. And at the same time, because we raised our rates, I don't believe as a parent that if you're able to pay $100, $200, I mean, what's that in the grand scheme of things to $250 when you're investing in your child? People spend money in the drive-through left and right, don't even remember what they bought that day. So is our tuition for the whole month too much to invest? We also don't accept twice a week programs, so we don't have people that say I can only come twice a week. We offer 4 times a week. The more you come, the more successful you become. So we no longer have a once a week, twice a week program. We have an unlimited class program with no test fees. We only charge for the belt when they get it because we can't just throw those out for free. We have to give those with, we pay for those. But I would rather have 100 students at $250 with staff and assistant instructors and whatnot that are compensated for their time than 100 students at $100 and I can barely pay rent. So that's how I survived the pandemic. I got rid of sparring for the time being, now it's back. We did socially distanced training. We limited our classes to minimal class numbers. We turned into appointment only. We advertised heavily. So I actually spent the last amount of my savings on advertising with a leap of faith that I was going to be able to rebound. We advertised more. We became appointment only. We paused sparring and contact-based drills for a while. We limited our class capacities. We did not allow free classes or free class viewing. And we did so many different things. And that's how we got through it. Now we have 83 students and about 2/3 of those are at $250 a month. And that enables us to continue to advertise, continue to teach the traditional karate that we want to teach, and at the same time remain who we are. And we also don't do this too. This is the last thing before we cut the video. No one's allowed to wear anything without our logo on it, whether that's a boxing glove, a sparring glove, a shin guard, a belt, or a gi, or a t-shirt. It has to have a Claycomb approved apparel. And you ask, why do you do that? Well, because to us, we need to remain who we are. And for us to remain who we are, you can't have Amazon products in our dojo because that doesn't support us, that supports Amazon. And if you want better instruction for yourself or your child, then you need a dojo that's going to be here through thick and thin, not someone who's going to close down tomorrow because they can't pay the bills. That's how I did it. So, and then of course we also have an awesome social media person who's a student of mine, Carolyn. We love her to death. She changed the social media perspective, and that also helped us too. So we did so many things, and we're not done. We just installed a air conditioning unit in our dojo as well. We didn't have air conditioning for 20 years. We just installed a very good air conditioning unit with UV filtration, so viruses die with the air that comes out. Just one more thing that we added to how we got through the pandemic and how we're going to get through whatever comes at us next. And we believe in what we do. And if you don't have the courage to put your name on it, then you don't believe in it enough. Bottom line.